Every verse slap. My worst raps doing better numbers than your baby mother's thirst traps. Facts.
Conductor, we have a problem.
I spit that old watch the earth crack, hand him his purse back. I'm the first Ukraine cat to baffle your skull. Master the flow, I sound like who? That shit was laughable. This is Bob Dylan without the harmonica. Just some iconic bars and a hard moniker. Wild D. Y'all ain't nothing but more cops and hall monitors. Ever since I dropped the first tape, you knew what time it was. Had them shook like mercury thermometers. What? And I thought the author of the work could be anonymous.
The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. Episode 30. We made it 30 episodes. What the hell is going on? I cannot believe that I am still doing this and it's up to 30 episodes. I guess I'll throw a celebration when it's 50 episodes. Man, thank you guys for coming back. Thank you for for everybody who's been supporting the show. I really appreciate it. I did not think I was going to make it to 30 episodes, but look, here we are, 30 episodes deep. It's been a crazy week. It's been a lot of bullshit happening, to be honest with you, this week, and I'm here to kind of wade through it. This week, I'm actually going to have, in new releases, I'm going to go through 2 albums and 1 single. I do have an artist to watch. Pretty good artist to watch, by the way. And there's 2 major news stories that's been going on in the world of hip-hop. So I'll get to that. But before I do, have you joined the society? Have you become a part of something special? Look, all I ever ask you guys for is a play, a like, a listen, a comment, something to help me break these algorithm chains. But if you really want to be a part of something special, join the society. All you have to do is subscribe to the BYNK Radio YouTube, be a part of the society, be a part of something special, be a part of something that is growing every day. I completely, I thank everybody for watching the shorts. It's wonderful. But the long form content, we ain't getting no love over there, man. We need more plays on the long form stuff. I bust my butt to be able to make sure these videos come out. And the long form stuff needs a little bit of love. A lot of you guys aren't subscribed, and a lot of you guys are coming and watching and leaving and not being subscribed. So if you like music content like this that comes out twice a week, 2 times, I give you 2 shows per week, do something that is wonderful and help me grow this channel by subscribing to the BYNK Radio YouTube channel. Become a member of the society. We have so many people here and we want to grow it. And you want to make me happy, right? Of course you do.
New releases.
So I have 2 albums, 1 single. Let's go ahead and get it. Let's go ahead and start with what I had been anticipating this week, actually for a while now since it was announced. Rapsody dropped her new album, Please Don't Cry, 22 songs, over an hour long. I don't know what more to say about this. I came into this thinking I was going to get her version of Nas's Magic. That's what I thought we were getting. And then we ended up getting her version of Mr. Morale. We ended up getting a version of like her Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale. It's a lot more than just rap. I have always known Rapsody to be a hip hop, like a MC, like a rapper's rapper. That is what I've always known her for from later. I think, my probably my favorite album of hers, was my favorite album, was Layla's Wisdom. I thought that was a phenomenal album. And this just kind of came through and like it kicked me in the face. I didn't expect for this to happen. This is an emotional filled album for Rapsody. You can tell that she has gone through a lot of crazy personal situations. She does address a lot of things. There's a lot of moments in here that she addresses, and every song has a purpose. I feel like this was therapy. This was a therapy session. Again, a lot like Mr. Morale. This is Mr. Morale with more rapping on here. There are a few hip hop albums that I say are beautiful, and I don't really use that word a lot when I talk about hip hop, but this album is beautiful, man. She covers different things like sexuality, relationships, cheating, heartbreak. tons of self-reflection, the mistakes she has made. She talks about dealing with someone with dementia. Like, it's a lot of different emotions going on in this album. And I felt a lot of that shit that she was addressing. And I can't be mad at it. I think I like it when we get rappers who can show that they've matured, show that they've evolved, shown that they've gotten a lot more knowledge or understand themselves a whole lot better. Self-reflection is always, to me, self-reflection from a rapper always makes for great music, because they're realizing a lot of things that's been happening. And for her to be able to address a lot of different things on this album was just, it was phenomenal, man. Like, I don't know what else to say, because a lot of those songs I related to for a lot of different reasons. And there's a lot of things that a lot of us can relate to. It's a very well-grounded album if you think about it. Like, I don't know. I really wanted to hear a lot of rappers rapping. Like, I know what type of rapper she is, and I know what kind of bar she is. She proved it with the song called Raw with Lil Wayne. Like, Wayne came in, great verse. Wayne's feature was very good. Sometimes Wayne could be hit or miss these days. He came in with a great verse, and she matched him. Like, she stayed with this nigga as far as bar for bar. Like, I think she hung with this nigga, and it's not a lot of people that can hang with Wayne. She hung with Wayne on this song. I think Raw was like one of those. Raw was one of the songs on here that you got great rapping, and it was certain parts of the album where you got rapping for the rapper's sake. But then you got a song called Stand Tall, where she's addressing people asking about her sexuality. Of course, people have always had these misconceptions about her because of how she dresses, and she addresses it. She talks about this in the song, where they talk about why she dresses the certain way that she does, and haven't really seen her with a partner and all this other stuff. And she addresses that in this song, and I thought it was handled very well. I thought the way she rapped about it was phenomenal. Like, one thing you can say about Rapsody is she gonna get some bars off, and she's gonna make it make sense. And the Stand Tall album was just, the Stand Tall record was just one of those songs where I was just like, damn, like, this motherfucker can fucking rap and make things clear. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that for a lot of people, how can I put this? For a lot of people, I think they came for one thing, because I only listened to like one single, and that was Asteroids. And I didn't listen to any other songs after that because I didn't want to really spoil the album. I wanted to hear everything, because sometimes singles can spoil. If you don't hear it in the way it was meant to be put in the album, sometimes it could just ruin shit. So I listened to Asteroids, and I was like, all right, cool. I'm good. I'll catch everything else later. And I think the album was sequenced very well. She does have this whole back and forth with Felicia Rashad. It's like Felicia Rashad is like a part of these interludes where she's having a conversation. It's like she's talking to maybe like her mother or her grandmother, her friend, or something like that. And I thought those were like really good. Kind of helps guide you through the album. But it's cohesive. The album is cohesive. The album has a lot of great pacing. I never felt like it dragged. Like, I never felt like it was. There are some albums where I listen to them, and you can always tell that there's 20 some odd songs on here. Like, this album has 22 songs, and it didn't feel like that at all. I think it was paced very well. I think it was well put together. Shout out to Black Odyssey, who did a lot of the production on here. He carried this album when it came to production. He had a lot of those songs on here where you could tell it was a certain type of emotion she was trying to display, and Black Odyssey just, with his production, just made it make sense. And I like that, and I'm a Black Odyssey fan. So not enough words for me to be able to say about this album how great it is. I think it is an amazing album. I think we need more mature type hip hop these days, especially when it comes to the type of topics that she was covering. But I'm going to have to return to this album because I think it's a lot of stuff that I might have missed. Some things might have went over my head, but for my first listen, I caught a lot of different things, and I cannot be mad at something like this. This is great. If you guys haven't listened to Rhapsody's Please Don't Cry, go on your phones, hit play. I feel like I'm gonna have to purchase this. Yeah, I wasn't gonna purchase it at first, but I think I'm gonna have to purchase this because just phenomenal, great album. Take time out to purchase Rapsody, Please Don't Cry. So the next album is somebody I talked about last episode. His name is Clavish. He's a artist out of the UK, and he dropped his album Chapter 16 this weekend. 16 songs, over an hour long. Let me get this out of the way first. I gotta go ahead and give you guys kind of like a quick warning, if that's the right word for it. I don't know. The first song on here is 10 minutes. Some people get scared away by seeing something like that, and they don't want to go through the album. The song is called Food for Thought. It's a reason why it's called Food for Thought. He's basically giving us a recap of what's going on in his life. He actually is telling us what's happening as far as him having money now and being I think he's got a deal currently. And he's just kind of going over everything that's happened since the last album. Don't let that scare you away. It's long. It doesn't have a hook. He is just rapping and he's just going over everything. Do not let that scare you away. If you don't want to hear the 10-minute song, skip it, because the song right after that is The 10th Floor, which is, again, one of my favorite songs off the whole album. Pot of Paper. Let me just tell you right now, my brother, you are fucking fire. I did not know anything about Pot of Paper, and I heard him the first time when I heard 10th Floor. I went and listened to some of his stuff. Yes, I'm definitely tapped in right now. I'm locked in. I fuck with that nigga, bro. Like, he's fire. This album really does sound bigger. It sounds like it has a budget. It's got a lot of cleaner production than Rap Game Awful. You have to remember, Rap Game Awful was a mixtape, and it sounded the way he was sounding because he was just coming out. This right here sounds like it's money behind it, and I like it. It doesn't feel like Clavish is just rapping for the sake of rapping. A lot of this stuff has a lot of meaning to it. Mixed in with, he is talking about two things on here: women and trapping. That's what he's talking about. But Clavish is doing it in a very clever way. He's talking about a lot of different things in between the main two topics, which is women and and trapping. And he's telling us the good and bad side of life right now. I love the features that he got on here. He ended up getting features like D Block Europe. He got Marnes, Milan. He got, I want to say it's Eich. If I'm fucking up your name, I'm sorry. But I think the best feature that he had, again, was with Pot of Paper. They just have great chemistry. I really want them to do a collab album together. A lot like what Central C and Dave did with Split Decision. I would really like to hear a collab album between Clavish and Pot of Paper. They just had really great chemistry. Not to take away from any of the other features, I really enjoyed the song with D Block Europe also, but it's just something about Clavish and Pot of Paper and how they just work on that 10th Floor song. It was a producer on here that surprised me, and it was R14. He did a lot of my favorite songs on here, and R14 feels like he should have produced way more on here than the songs that he did produce. He produced 10th Floor, IDK, and Top 2. All three of those are like my favorite songs on here. Top 2 was a more conventional drill song, and I thought like the beat was a more conventional drill beat, and I thought he did an amazing job on that shit. Like, he just killed it, man. Like, R14 should be producing more for Clavish. He did a lot of Clavish and stuff on Rap Game Awful, but they just took it to another level. Again, you can tell that Clavish has a budget for this album. It doesn't sound anything like Rap Game Awful. It's so much cleaner. It's so much better. You can tell that Clavish is getting a lot better in his rapping as well. He's way more sharper. A lot of his pockets, he's just clever with a lot of the stuff that he's saying. But to me, it just feels like This is just another level. This is just Clavish stepping up to another level. I keep telling people in another 2-3 years, he's going to be everywhere. And I don't know if anybody believes me or not, but Clavish is very talented, and he's a fucking amazing MC. Overall, it's another great showing for Clavish. I know he's going to put out more great music. You guys need to support this project. Again, Clavish, Chapter 16. Go out, listen to it. It's amazing. All right, and for my... Come here, microphone. Stop playing. For the single that I listened to was 42 Dugg dropped a single called Win With Us. I don't know what happened to 42 Dugg. He ain't been the same since he got out of jail. This song was average. Like, I'm used to 42 Dugg being the 42 Dugg that was off Last One's Left with ESTG. When him and ESTG did that collab album, I think 42 Dugg was rapping at his best. I think he did a phenomenal job on that. I don't know what's going on. This song just did not hit for me, and I'm a 42 Dugg fan. I just think I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. If he can go back to doing what he was doing on Last One's Left, then we got 42 Dugg back. But it feels like something's off. It feels like he ain't really. I don't know. It feels like he ain't in that mode no more. A lot of y'all know what I'm talking about. It's something about 42 Dugg right now. It just feels like he ain't putting his best work out. And it's taking so long for him to be able to put music out. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what's his hang up. 42 Dugg, I need you to get your hustle back, bro. I need you to get your hustle back, man, because this right here was just not your best. I thought it was mid at best. And I think he can do way better. Like, I know he can do way better. I've heard 42 Dugg kill songs before. But this right here, Win With Us, man, I think it just... I think he just put something out to be able to say he's still making music. I would really love for him to get back to that. He needs to get back to that level. And while I'm talking about that, where the hell is ESTG at? ESTG, where you at, bro? Like, I don't know if he's dropped something here recently. Maybe I should go to his page and look. But I haven't got anything from ESTG in a minute either. And it feels like they don't. Either they don't want to put the music out or they're putting it out and nobody's promoting it. 42 Dugg, I need you to find your mojo, brother. I need you to get it back because I'm not used to you putting out mid songs, and this was mid, bro. This was mid. You can do way better.
Artist to watch.
So I came across this artist on Twitter. His name is WhookilledKenny, and he's an artist out of Texas. He's independent, but he has this song called Splat. Super catchy, hella catchy, man. I thought it was fire. But the song wasn't the only thing that caught my eye. I actually seen the video. He put a piece of the video on Twitter, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of dope. So I actually went to his YouTube, listened to the song, watched it with the visuals. It's something that's way different. A lot of artists aren't really doing what he's doing with that visual. And the song is actually really good. I haven't really heard anything else. He has a couple more songs on his title page. I only listened to Splat. I actually ran the Splat song back like 3 or 4 times because it's so catchy. But yeah, he's independent. He's just not really getting his footing up under him as an independent artist. And I just thought it would be cool, especially since we had interaction on Twitter. I thought it would be cool to actually put him on the show today. So his name, again, is WhookilledKenny. I will put his information on in the description. You'll see it. And go support him and run the song up. Actually run it up on YouTube. The visual is so fucking dope. It's ridiculous. Like the way he filmed it, the way it doesn't move like a typical video. It's very outside the box, and it's like he tried. And I think more people should give him a chance because, again, we're in this TikTok social media era of catchy songs, and I think his is one of the better ones. And if he's gonna do more visuals like this, I think he has a shot to be able to be bigger than what he is. So again, the name of the artist is WhookilledKenny. The name of the song is called Splat. Run it up on fucking YouTube. Tell him you found out about it on the STEM Society.
The STEM Society.
Yeah. Shop, what up? Uptown, up north, you know the deal. Yeah. Hey, yo. They pushing drugs in front of the laundromat. These bitches fuck they favorite rapper, don't call her back. The kid a profit never cost to let your dollar stack. These offers lit the flame up by my ass. The talk was hard to match.
The STEM Society.
So one of the big news stories that happened this week was the whole Cardi B Rolling Stone interview. A lot of odd shit happened. Cardi had this tweet. Everything kind of came from this tweet that she put out. She tweeted, deleted something to the. I actually put it up right here. But she said basically she's not dropping an album this year. She's going to relax. She's gonna rest and relax and not worried about an album this year. Okay. It has been 6 years, so maybe one more year of rest, it shouldn't be so bad, right? So right after that, after the interview drop, after the Rolling Stone interview drop, which I'm actually gonna go over during this time, Atlantic, her label, said, hey, and I'll put the tweet that they put up right here. Hey, this album is gonna come out even if we gotta sneak into the studio and drop it. And that to me was a little bit. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I put this out on Instagram, and if you follow me on Instagram at @ColeJackson_BYNK, in my stories, I basically said, I see the play here. So this is just a theory. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm not speaking gospel. It's just something that came up in my mind. For me, it felt like the tweet and delete thing, which was kind of odd, out of nowhere, and the label thing felt like they were trying to measure the anticipation, or if this album was really going to be something that's going to sell by how many people are going to respond to what happened. See, that was the thing too. Like the tweet and delete got a lot of responses. A lot of people were a little upset about that, what Cardi said. And I think Atlantic was actually doing something as far as like saying, well, let us put this tweet out and see how these people feel about Cardi's music and when it's coming out and so on and so forth. I just see the play, man. Personally, I think they're trying to gauge who's going to buy it, how much is it going to sell, what kind of engagement that she's getting from a lot of these people on social media and people who are fans. It's weird because I think they're trying to protect, this is theory, by the way, I think they're trying to protect her brand. She brings in a whole lot of money without even doing music for real. Like Cardi's a brand. She's more of a brand than she is a rapper. My opinion, not fact, my opinion. Have to put that there because people will attack you. So I ended up saying, fuck it, I'll just read the interview. Why not? Let me see what happened. Here's what I found. They talk a lot about her home life and family life and how it is when she's at home and family, so on and so forth. And that was cool. Everything was good. But the music part of it, when they started talking about the music stuff, a lot of that confused me. So they talked about social media and the things she finds on social media. There was a woman on TikTok who said she's a influencer cosplaying as a rapper. And apparently that hit Cardi the wrong way. But it kind of feels that way. I'm not saying it is that way. It does kind of feel like that, though. Like, I look at Cardi, and this is just me as a music nigga. I look at Cardi as more of a brand than I do a rapper now. Like, she puts out singles, and she puts out hit singles at that. But, like, you ain't put out a body of work in 6 years. 6 years. And I know, family, kids, I get it. She is a woman who has to take care of her family and kids. But this is what she said in the article. She said this, and it's like, I take my music so fucking seriously. That's why I don't put it out. Because if it's not perfect to my ear, if every fucking word doesn't sound like it's pronounced right, if the beat is overpowering the words or the words is overpowering the beat, I don't want to put it out. Fair. How about that? Fair. That's fair, Cardi. Okay, that's fair. You are a perfectionist. I know a lot of artists who are perfectionists when it comes to to albums. Kanye West, I'll put out Kanye. Kanye does that sometimes. I don't know if he does that now, but no, he still does that. So I get it. You're a perfectionist. You want to make sure everything is crystal clear and everything works when it comes to an album. Even though your first album wasn't perfect. It wasn't. It was great. Wasn't perfect. Just saying. They kind of go into what type of album she wants to do. Here's another quote. She says, quote, I really want to talk about the life changes that I've been dealing with in the past 6 or 7 years. But then it's just like, I feel like people don't deserve to know because people use my pain against me. How can I put this? You go back and forth on with people on Twitter all the time. I've literally witnessed you have epic Twitter rants with regular people. So I don't understand that part of it too much. And again, I'm just a nigga behind a microphone, and maybe I just don't get it. But you've literally gone on rants and called people all kinds of shit on social media. How is that? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you're saying people use your pain against you, but you're one of the biggest artists in the world. Like, you're one of the biggest artists. You sell, your singles do great. Your music does great. You are in control of a lot of different, well, I feel like you're in control of a lot of different things. And it's like, how is that possible? How is it that you're such a big artist, but people use life things in your life against you to hurt you? I don't really understand that dynamic either. And maybe that's just something that I don't get because I don't live that type of lifestyle, or I'm not up there with with Cardi and all of the big time artists. But I've never really felt like that had happened. I think people make their opinions on social media about you, but when are we going to get to the point where artists start turning that shit off and just kind of doing the work? Like, that's what kills me. Like, you don't have to engage with anybody on social media. Turn that shit off and do the fucking work. Social media for artists of that size should be nothing but a tool. I know you want to say, oh, I want to reach out to my fans, but it feels like at times, and this is just not Cardi, but a lot of artists sit up here and go back and forth with people who ain't on their fucking level. Y'all choose to do that instead of just cutting that shit off and saying, nah, you know what? Fuck that shit. I ain't finna do that. But the always these famous words, oh, I got time today. No, you don't. No, you don't. I think it's cool to have engagement with fans. People who are as successful as you are, especially at this point in your career, you're going to have people who are going to hate on your lifestyle. People throw rocks at the throne on a regular basis. It happens. It comes with success. And that part of it confuses me when people like Cardi or other big time artists complain about that shit. It comes with success. You are going to get criticized no matter what you do. It's a part of the game. Is the game, my nigga. And that's the thing. You know that. I don't think that you know this. You know this. You have been so successful for so long now. How do you not know that? So the big popular quote that's going around social media now is this. Here, and this came out of that same interview. Quote, I know for a fact that I opened a fucking door. I know for a fact that I can rap. I know for a fact that I make fucking hits. Sometimes people be trying to belittle me, and it's like, no, I am that bitch, and y'all fucking know it. Here's what social media is not telling you, or this is the part of the quote that they're not adding in. Quote, if I was doing this for money, I would put out music every month because nothing pays more than shows. I'm turning down these concerts because I don't got no new music. But I care about how my music sounds. I care about the quality. I care about giving something special every single time. So it feels like Cardi, reading the article and reading the interview, and if you guys haven't read the interview, I please go read it. It's actually a pretty good read. Even though it's a fluff piece, it's a pretty good read. But sometimes I think labels give artists who have done so well from the very beginning, because we tend to forget that Invasion of Privacy won Hip Hop Album of the Year. That's her first album, and it won Hip Hop Album of the Year, won a Grammy for that. And that was, I don't think anybody else has had such as good of a rookie year as Cardi has. Cardi had a great rookie year. I feel like that gave the label a lot of confidence in what Cardi could do and how much star power she has. I think they gave a lot of leeway when it came to a lot of things that was happening. I know, again, I understand she had a child. I'm not holding that against her. Nobody should. She's a woman. She deserves to have time to be able to have children. But I also feel like she got comfortable. Yes, she had a great rookie year. Yes, the album sold. Yes, she won hip hop. She won a Grammy for Hip Hop Album of the Year. All of that stuff is true. But that ain't the only thing that's going to pay the bills, which I felt like people seen how Cardi could be marketable, and they said, yo, let's sign her to a lot of these different brand deals, which a lot of these artists do already. How many artists do you know have more brand deals than they do singles or albums in this point in hip hop or in music right now? There's a ton of them. A lot of these people are more brands than they are rappers now. I'm not holding that against them because the bills got to be paid. But I just felt like it got to a point to where like she got so many deals and so many brand deals that it was just like, I'll put the album out next year. Oh, she kept pushing back the album until it became 6 years later. And now we're sitting over here like, you going to drop something? And I also want to put it on the label too with not having a decent A&R to sit her down and say, hey, you need to put an album out. This shit got to get done. We're no longer going to play around. Let's take a break. Let's take a break away from doing all of this other stuff, and let's put an album together. Because when you read the article, when you read the interview, I keep wanting to call it an article. It's an interview. When you read the interview, there's a lot of different places she talks about where she wants to take this album, and she has not a clue on which direction to go. She even at one point said that she wants to do stuff like Madonna does, like an erotica type album, but you know, that's not going to work for her core hip hop fans. She wants to do something outside of the box, more like what Beyonce did with Cowboy Carter. She doesn't have a ton of direction, and if she doesn't have an A&R to help put her on the right path to be able to expand what she wants to do, we're never going to get an album. The label has to get some balls and say, you got to do this. And you need to slow down on some of this other stuff. And if you want to put this album out, we need to find a direction. We need to figure out what the features are going to look like. We need to figure out what this album is going to sound like. And she has, reading that interview, it feels like none of that is there. None of it. And it's crazy. But again, both sides are at fault. Again, Atlantic giving her so much leeway to say, whenever you feel like putting the album out, just put it out. And Cardi saying, okay, well, I got all this time. I do whatever I need to do. I got to make money here. She's put her brand out there so much with so many different things. Where does music come? And I know she keeps saying, I get anxiety, or again, like she said earlier, I want it to be perfect. When are we going to get to the point where artists are okay with having a sophomore jinx? Like, it happens. That used to be the biggest thing in music at one point in time. Artists with their second album having a sophomore jinx and it not be as good as the first. And then they bounce back with the third album. I think that sometimes you just got to say fuck it and just put the music out and see what it does. Everything is not going to be a smash. Everything is not going to sell as much as your first album. And I think you have to make the mistakes so you can correct them and be able to make the type of music you want to make. If you don't stumble every now and again, how are you supposed to know where you're going in your music career? And let's not forget, like, it's been 6 damn near 7 years since Invasion of Privacy has come out. You have a ton of other artists that are in your group that has been coming out with, let's name them. Meg Thee Stallion, Lola Brooke is still going strong. Sexy Red is out. People love Sexy Red. Glorilla, Lady London, Ken the Man, she's up and coming. Doechii. You got a lot of competition out here right now. And you haven't put a second album out in, I'm just going to go ahead and round it up to 7 years. Do you think that music's not going to pass you by? Like, that's the thing. Like, if you don't want to do, here's where I'm at with it. And then I can move on to the next story because it ticks me off every time I talk about it. If you don't want to do an album, don't. If you feel like you can live off of doing features and doing singles for the rest of your career, do it. If you feel like you're going to make more money being a brand than you are being a rapper, what's wrong with transitioning into doing that? Because clearly it's something there that we don't know about that's keeping Cardi from dropping this album. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't really think it's the fact that she's not confident. I think it's the fact that there's no direction in where this album's going to go. If you read the Rolling Stone interview, and maybe I just comprehend differently, but from everything that she said in that interview, it just feels like she has no direction of where this album should go. And then again, I'll go back to what she said earlier in the year when she was doing her press run on an album that was supposed to come out. I got a hard drive, hundreds of songs. She showed it on fucking, I can't remember the interview. I know she talked about it on I think she talked about it on Big Boy's interview. But she said she's got hundreds of songs, just chilling. And you can't find anything. You can't find 8 great songs because I'm going to tell you what they're going to do. Let me just go ahead and expose how shit works sometimes. This is what they're going to do. They're going to get 8, maybe 9 great songs, really good songs. And then she's dropped, 3 singles this year so far? They're going to, what's that, 9, 10, 11, 12? That's 12. 12 songs typically make up a pretty good album. So we're going to get 8 songs, 3 of them, maybe 4 of them have features of hot artists. And then they're going to take those 3 singles that she's made a lot of, she's got a lot of streams off of. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. She got a lot of streams off of, and they're going to add it to that album. Here you go. That's it. Here's your Cardi B album. Easy. The problem is that album don't have no direction. And they don't have an A&R with balls enough to tell her to sit down and figure it out. And they don't want to lose her. I'm pretty sure they don't want to lose her. Earlier, last year, when Offset was having so much problems with that with the label. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's independent right now. Don't quote me on that because I don't 100% know. But he got out of his deal. And at one point in time, it felt like Cardi was trying to leave her deal. So I don't know. All I know is this whole thing with her dropping an album or trying to get this album out, if you guys read the interview, you may feel differently. I personally just feel like it's a lot of confusion. I think the label's not doing their job, but I also think Cardi is taking advantage of what the label is giving her, which is plenty of space and leeway. But if she don't, I'm telling you right now, if she don't drop an album this year and she waits till next year to drop that album, it's not going to be what you think it is. So the last story I wanted to do, and I wanted to save this for last because it's horrifying, and not everybody wants to hear it or talk about it, and I get it. There was new footage shown. There was an incident that took place on March the 5th that shows Diddy grabbing Cassie and throwing her to the floor. He basically abused her. It was a domestic abuse situation. And this was at the Intercontinental Hotel, which is now closed. They've had this footage since 2016. Now, according to TMZ, there does not seem to be a police report linked to this 2016 incident. And a lot of people are just like, why did this come out now? What's going on? So on and so forth. Why is he not going to jail? The LAPD actually put a statement out by saying due to the 3-year statute of limitations that applies to the crimes that took place before January 2020, they will not be able to investigate the assault or look into filing charges. So we're getting answers from all of these different places. I know the LAPD was like, we can't do nothing. How do I want to say this? We all know that Diddy said he didn't do any of that stuff. I know he put out a statement saying all of this stuff that's alleged is not me, and he lied. A lot of people on social media are eating crow right now because of seeing this footage and saying, hey, like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, and the video just showed all of this other stuff. And there's a lot of people on here just saying, yo, y'all need to shut the fuck up and mind your business and so on and so forth. I feel like if that was like your mom or your sister or somebody in your family, you would want more people to talk about it and more people to condemn those types of actions. This was horrible. Just seeing the video it's crazy to me to see the type of stuff that ends up on social media these days, and I hate the fact that this is up. And we are talking, a lot of people are talking a lot about like what Diddy did and how much of a horrible person it is, but none of us is really talking about like Cassie having to relive this again because this video is out, and for all intents and purposes, she is a victim. And her having to relive this is horrific. Like, I don't want, I come from a household where there was domestic abuse happening. And for some people that can trigger them, I think, especially somebody who's the actual victim, it could trigger them. I pray for that woman because this going through the media, everybody's showing it on every platform, it don't fare well for her at all. She might be triggered. It might be a situation where she has to relive that stuff, and it's horrific. I couldn't stand watching it. But we gotta start being a lot more responsible with our reactions and our actions when it comes to these types of things happening. A lot of people got on social media and said, yo, they trying to take a black man down. Yo, they trying to take Diddy out of here, man. He's a billionaire. They always trying to take the black billionaires out of here. And a lot of those people who said that shit is sitting up here looking real stupid right now. And we have to kind of learn to shut the fuck up and get more evidence before we start speaking on shit. We don't know everything. We don't. That's what kills me sometimes. We want to say we think we know what the white man trying to take him down. Oh man, we just hate our own kind. We just want to, we hate to see other people thrive. And then shit comes out. And I said this verbatim. I said, we know eventually some footage is going to come out. I said it. Eventually footage will come out. I was in a conversation. I said, there's no way that him being an abusive person, like Big Brother is everywhere. There's cameras everywhere. I hate the fact that it took so long for the footage to come out. Again, this incident happened back in 2016. It's 2024 now. I just think that it's a situation where we got to be a little bit more thoughtful when it comes to the ideas and the way we try to move or we want to talk about this stuff. Because everybody said that she was making a money grab. That's what everybody, oh, this is a money grab. How y'all looking right now? It's nothing cute about this whole situation, man. And I hate the fact that this is happening. And for people who are like coming at fucking Young Miami about this shit, how do y'all know that she not a victim too? And that's not my words. This is coming from words from women that are on social media. How do we know that she's not a victim? We got to be a little bit more responsible when it comes to some of this shit, man. Like, I get it. We want to hold these niggas who got so much money in this, and put them on this fucking pedestal so bad because they made it and they got out. And I don't want to look like I'm hating on them if I go against them or say something that's against them. I ain't no hater, bro. Like, man, we need to celebrate these people. You got to be careful who you call your heroes. And you got to be careful who you celebrate. It's been rumblings about this man and the shit that he's done for a very long time. And if you got, here's another thing too. A lot of your prominent podcasters, if they don't talk about it, don't be upset, because a lot of them have affiliation. A lot of those people are connected to him, and it would be in their best interest for them not to talk about it. A lot of people are putting out statements. I know Revolt put out a statement here recently that says, you know, even though he's not the chairman anymore, we just want to make sure y'all know that we don't associate ourselves with him anymore at all. He's done. He's done. Ain't no coming back from this. I said it on Instagram also. He was putting out these cryptic tweets talking about the truth. Time will tell the truth. And he was celebrating all these women. I know it was Mother's Day here recently, but he was celebrating all these women. And I'm still in this thought as well, but it sounded very, very right to me. He was bracing us for this. The celebration of all these women on his page, and time will reveal the truth and all this other stuff. He was bracing us for this. The pictures with his kids, all this other stuff. You know, again, I stole that thought from somebody else, but it sounded so right. He was prepping us for what was going to really come out. Now, if I'm not mistaken, and I seen this here recently because I got an alert for it. And I don't typically read shit off my phone, but I'll do it this time. But if I'm not mistaken, there's a post where Kodak Black's lawyer is saying this, and I'll put it on the screen. Anyone who thinks CNN, quote unquote, obtained the video is a sucker. This was a leak, and to me, it telegraphs the fact that he's about to be charged in a bigger case. This way, if Cassie is the star witness, they can rely on the fact that she was essentially under control. By the way, that is why this case should have been settled way before the lawsuit was filed. So there's a lot of people feeling like this was leaked. A lot of people are feeling like this was leaked to CNN, and this is a bigger case that's going to happen. I got to be real with y'all. I feel the same way. They leaked that, and they're going to take him out. And I ain't even mad at it. It's something that should have been done a while ago. The things that he has been accused of previously to this, it feels like a lot of that stuff, the rumors, the rumblings, all of that stuff just feels like it really, this kind of cemented everything. So I'm just telling y'all this to say, look, don't let other people's perception or other people's way of thinking sway you from what you feel. Do your own research, figure things out for yourself, and go with what you feel and what you know. Everybody's opinion or all this other bullshit that people be saying are dumb and stupid. Trust your own information. Always trust your own information. Well, that's my time, folks. I don't have anything else for you guys. I think you've gotten all of my time. This is probably an hour show. I didn't want it to go an hour, but it was a lot of stuff that I wanted to go over. Everybody who's been supporting the show, if you're a part of the society, thank you. But if you're one of those 67% people who are not subscribers to the show, what are you doing? Join the society. Be a part of something special. You can always help me by giving me a play, a like, a listen, a comment. That's great. Algorithm change, we're going to break them. But if you really want to get content like this twice a week, you got to join the society. Be a part of something special. Subscribe to the BYNK Radio YouTube channel and join the society. Be a part of something special. We have room for everyone, and we want to grow. We want to grow this community into something very big. Pause if I have to. All right, guys. I'm done for the day, and I will catch you guys next episode. Peace out.
The STEM Society.
the type of nigga outside making mounds out of molehills. Lay a nigga down like $1,000 soul and lay a nigga down like I keep a Swiss miss.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.